Have you ever clicked on a button only to find that it triggers an alert when you didn't want it to? It's frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to solve the issue of triggering alerts in JavaScript when clicking on a div. I totally understand how annoying it can be when you click on something and it doesn't behave the way you expect. You're not alone in this. Many developers face this issue when working with nested elements. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, how can I make sure that clicking the outer div triggers an alert, but clicking the inner div does not? This is a common scenario in web development. Let's dive into it together. So, what's happening here? When you click the inner button, the click event bubbles up to the outer div, triggering the alert. This is due to event propagation in JavaScript. But don't worry, we can fix this. And stick around. I have a simple solution for you that will make your code cleaner and more efficient. You won't want to miss it. To prevent the alert from triggering when the inner button is clicked, the user needs to stop the event from bubbling up to the outer div. This can be done by adding an event listener to the inner button that calls the stop propagation method. Next, the user should ensure that the click event on the outer div remains intact. This means keeping the existing click function that triggers the alert. Now let's put it all together. The user should have both the event listener for the inner button and the click function for the outer div in their JavaScript code. Finally, the user can test the implementation. When clicking the outer div, the alert should trigger, but clicking the inner button should not trigger the alert. Fun fact, did you know that event bubbling is a fundamental concept in JavaScript? It allows events to propagate up the DOM tree, which can be both useful and tricky. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user suggests modifying the click function to check if the event target is the outer div. If it is, the alert will trigger. This way, clicking inside the inner div won't activate the alert. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. This user suggests using the event.stop propagation method to prevent the alert from triggering when clicking inside the inner div. They recommend applying this method to the children of the outer div. For more information, they also provide a link to a related solution on Stack Overflow. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative solution provided by a user involves using pure JavaScript. They suggest adding an event listener to the outer div. Inside the listener, it checks if the click target is the inner button or the inner div. If it is, no alert is triggered. Otherwise, an alert is shown. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. Another user suggests a different approach to prevent the alert from triggering when clicking inside the inner div. They recommend using the stop propagation method. This method stops the click event from bubbling up to the outer div. That's it for that response. Let's explore another one. An alternative solution suggests using the event.target property to determine where the click originated. The code checks if the click event was triggered by the outer div or one of its children. If it was triggered by the outer div, the alert will display. Otherwise, it will not. Here's a pro tip. Always remember to manage event propagation in your applications. It can save you a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. Now clicking the outer div will trigger the alert, while clicking the inner button will not. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button for more tips and tricks.